Okay, y'all, so get ready for a bed with me the night before my surgery, y'all. It's 10:38 p.m. My surgery is at 6:30 a.m. I'm the first surgery of the day. I have to be. I know nobody else will be getting surgery before 6:30 a.m.
Houston police say they are now investigating a hit and run that happened on the southeast side, but there are a lot of twists and turns to this one. Fox 26's Leslie Dallas is breaking down this bizarre case.
Multiple 911 calls were made to HPD Thursday morning after a woman was struck by a car, but there are multiple parts to this story. Here's what we know. HPD says a woman and man who used to date went out to dinner. The man who was driving then dropped the woman off on Dennis and Nagel Streets. As she went to hug him goodbye, she was hit by his car. How'd that happen? Well, the driver told HPD that he was robbed and a man jumped through his open passenger window here and held a gun to his head. So the driver claims he drove forward, trying to shake off the robbery suspect, who was only partially in his car. Instead, he says he accidentally hit the young woman. She was taken to the hospital with serious head injuries after someone saw her in the road and called 911. But the driver didn't stop after hitting her. He told police that he was attempting to shake the would-be robber, and he attempted to hit a tree. Instead, he hit a gate here at Ryan Middle School on Delano and Elgin. Someone there made another 911 call, but when police got there, the driver was gone. Now, HPD says the driver ran in this direction towards Isabella Street, where he jumped into the backyard of a woman's home. She didn't want to be identified on camera, but she told us what she remembers.
Hey y'all, I got out of surgery about 2 days ago. I still am healing. I got surgery under my eyes. My whole face was broken. My eyes, my nose, my mouth. Sorry for the drool. I really wasn't ready to come on here, but I wanted to update y'all because I see a lot of people were sending out prayers and having in their thoughts, so I did want to update y'all.
Story. I never said that this man just purposely hit me. He never said that I purposely did anything to him, he never said that. He just told what happened from his perspective. And instead of me coming on there and not knowing what happened, I didn't run to go say, oh, well, this, that, and the third. Shit, I said I was walking my damn dogs. He did a whole story time. He didn't do a story time, because if he did a story time, you would be telling me what happened. Y'all still don't know what happened. You said you was with your dog, so you lied. Yes, I lied on purpose. I lied on purpose because I never... Have I ever came on here and did a story time?
Okay, so let me set the scene for you real quick. You spend close to $40,000 completely rebuilding your body. And I mean rebuilding. We are not talking about one little procedure. We are talking a BBL, lipo from your entire midsection. EB is sculpted in, chin cleaned up, and a skin tightening treatment on top of all of that. 5 procedures. 1 trip to Miami. You did not come to play. You came to be reconstructed. You fly back home to Houston. You are 6 weeks post-op. Your body is still settling. You are still healing, still swollen, still sleeping on that special pillow. And you are posting every step of the journey for your almost 300,000 TikTok followers, because that is literally your job, and you are committed to the process. And then, you end up broken, in the middle of a Houston street, at 3 a.m, face cracked in multiple places, leg gone, body that you just invested your entire savings into, now being treated by paramedics on the asphalt. And here is the part that will have you putting your phone down and picking it right back up. The man who hit you. You looked the police in their faces and told them you did not want to press charges because you were trying to protect his name, while your face was broken. This is the story of Daja Young, Houston content creator, entrepreneur, and the woman who went from a $40,000 glow-up to a trauma center in 6 weeks flat. And before you pick a side, because everybody picked a side on this one, you need to understand the full picture, because this story is not as simple as it looks from the outside, and it is a whole lot messier than either of them let on. Stick with me.
You're on TikTok crimes. We cover what happens when social media fame turns fatal. TikTok stars, Instagram couples, Facebook influencers. When their posts become crime scenes, we break down exactly what went wrong. These aren't just viral stories. These are real murders, real victims. Subscribe right now if you want the truth behind the trending hashtags, because by the time something goes viral, somebody's usually already dead. Here's what happened.
Daja built everything she has from zero. No family connections, no investor, no man funding the vision. By 2022, she had planted herself deeper in Houston and was picking up weekend shifts as a bottle girl at clubs to pull in extra money. Here is the detail that personally gets me every time. Daja grew up as an only child. No siblings, nobody to entertain her, nobody to perform for. So she made her own audience. She would record herself, talk to no one, practice conversations with a camera that wasn't connected to anything yet. She was essentially rehearsing for a life she hadn't built yet. And then she went and built it. By 2025, that little girl talking to herself in an empty room had become a woman with 111,000 followers on Instagram, close to 300,000 on TikTok, and a fully running brand, Buddha Babe, selling wigs, skincare, and clothing. She was landing brand deals, mentoring other women on how to build digital income, and vlogging every part of the process because she wanted her audience to see what it actually looked like to build something real. Not the highlight reel, the whole journey. And that commitment to showing the whole journey is exactly what brought her to Miami in August of 2025.
Okay, y'all, so get ready for a bed with me the night before my surgery, y'all. It's 10:38 p.m. My surgery is at 6:30 a.m. I'm the first surgery of the day. I have to be. I know nobody else will be getting surgery before 6:30 a.m.
In August of 2025, Daja flew to Miami and walked into a clinic called Doll's Plastic Surgery. Her surgeon was Dr. Keith Berman, the same doctor who had previously done her breast surgery, and she trusted him completely. And what she had done that day was not a small thing. The full list: a Brazilian butt lift, where fat is removed from other areas of your body and transferred to your backside to reshape and add volume. Lipo 360, fat removed from your entire midsection, front, back, sides, all of it, for a more contoured silhouette. Abdominal etching, think liposuction, but with more precision, carving actual visible AB definition directly into your body, chin liposuction to define the jawline, and a skin tightening treatment called J-plasma to firm everything up after all that reshaping was done. That is 5 separate procedures, 1 visit, 1 woman, fully documented. She stayed in Miami for a full week after, got 4 post-surgical massages at the clinic to help her body drain and heal properly, and then flew back home to Houston to finish the recovery process. By September 2025, she was only 6 weeks out from surgery, still very much in that healing window, still very much not done. And that is exactly where we are when the night of September 25th, 2025 begins. A Thursday night in Houston. According to both of them, and this is the only part they actually agree on, Daja and Marcus had been out together that evening at Victory Lounge. Drinks, good energy. A normal night out between 2 people who had history, stayed cool after things ended, and kept each other in their orbit. No arguments, no tension. Nothing to suggest the night was going anywhere other than home. Marcus drove her in his 2022 Mercedes, and somewhere between Victory Lounge and her front door, the story splits so completely that we are still standing in the middle of the gap today. Here is what Marcus says happened.
So the true story behind everything is we were out, we were having a good time at Victory Lounge. Everybody there was drinking, enjoying themselves. Boom, the night comes to an end where I said, okay, it's time to go. I'm about to take her home, whatever. So we head over there. Mind you, throughout the whole night, her phone was ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. And Like, whoever's calling her is obviously trying to get a hold of her and see what the fuck she got going on, what is she doing, who she with, whatever the case may be. Obviously her boyfriend or her ex, I don't know if she's in a relationship. Like I said, I haven't spoke to her. She's basically like saying, hey, park right there, let's talk for a little bit. We haven't seen each other for a while. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, we talking for a little bit and stuff like that. And then she's like, hey, take her to the store to get some water, because I really asked her for some water. I said, hey, you got some water? She was like, no, I actually don't, so can you take me to the store so I can run and get some water? So cool, we go to that corner store off of Elgin and Emancipation. So boom, we go to that corner store, she go in there, get whatever she gets. I don't know how long she in there, she probably about 5-10 minutes. I ain't gonna lie, she was in there for a little while just to get some water. Boom, she get in the car, as soon as she sit down in the car, she put the stuff down. She answered the phone. She clearly said like, what, bro?
Now, here is what Daja says.
Story. I never said that this man just purposely hit me. He never said that I purposely did anything to him, he never said that. He just told what happened from his perspective. And instead of me coming on there and not knowing what happened, I didn't run to go say, oh, well, this, that, and the third. Shit, I said I was walking my damn dogs. He did a whole story time. He didn't do a story time, because if he did a story time, you would be telling me what happened. Y'all still don't know what happened. You said you was with your dog, so you lied. Yes, I lied on purpose. I lied on purpose because I never have I ever came on here and did a story time? For real? Like, am I a story time type of content creator? On his TikTok. He called it a story. Okay, he can call it a story time. Okay, that's cool, but what happened is what happened. What happened is what happened. Why did you lie? It's probably confusing. All I'm gonna say is, because it's just like, I don't even care to like clear to say anything, but like all I'm gonna say is just like just imagine if you and somebody that you're cool with just so happen to be out and something happens and y'all are both in a bad position. Like, how can I be mad at him for running me over and he was in the middle of getting robbed?
As for the corner store, the parking spot, the phone call, Daja has not addressed those specific details publicly. What she did address was the broader accusation, and her response was not defensive or panicked. It was direct. 2 people, 2 accounts, both delivered on camera, directly to the public, with no filter between them and hundreds of thousands of viewers. And here is the thing, neither version is provably wrong yet, because the one thing that could resolve this, the security footage from Daja's duplex that Marcus said his lawyer would retrieve, the Ring doorbell, the exterior cameras covering the front of that building, has never been shown to anyone, not to the public, not in any court filing, not in any follow-up reporting. That footage either exists and has not come out, or it does not exist in the way Marcus described. Either way, we are still waiting. Here is what is not in dispute. Around 3 o'clock in the morning on September 25th, 2025, multiple people called 911 about a pedestrian down at the intersection of Dennis Street and Nagel Street in Houston's 3rd Ward. Houston Fire Department paramedics arrived and found Daja lying in the road with serious head injuries. She was treated on the scene and rushed to a nearby trauma center. 6 blocks away, a 2022 Mercedes had crashed through the fence at Ryan Middle School on Delano and Elgin Streets. The car was tangled in the school gate, completely disabled. The driver was gone. These are the facts on the ground. Both scenes confirmed by HPD and Fox 26.
Houston police say they are now investigating a hit and run that happened on the southeast side, but there are a lot of twists and turns to this one. Fox 26's Leslie Dellasport is breaking down this bizarre case.
Multiple 911 calls were made to HPD Thursday morning after a woman was struck by a car, but there are multiple parts to this story. Here's what we know. HPD says a woman and man who used to date went out to dinner. The man who was driving then dropped the woman off on Dennis and Nagel Streets. As she went to hug him goodbye, she was hit by his car. How'd that happen? Well, the driver told HPD that he was robbed and a man jumped through his open passenger window here and held a gun to his head. So the driver claims he drove forward, trying to shake off the robbery suspect, who was only partially in his car. Instead, he says he accidentally hit the young woman. She was taken to the hospital with serious head injuries after someone saw her in the road and called 911. But the driver didn't stop after hitting her. He told police that he was attempting to shake the would-be robber, and he attempted to hit a tree. Instead, he hit a gate here at Ryan Middle School on Delano and Elgin. Someone there made another 911 call, but when police got there, the driver was gone. Now, HPD says the driver ran in this direction towards Isabella Street, where he jumped into the backyard of a woman's home. She didn't want to be identified on camera, but she told us what she remembers.
That is HPD's account, as reported by Fox 26. Simple. A goodbye hug, a car, an accident. Marcus's account is considerably more detailed and considerably harder to verify. He says that right at the moment of the drop-off, one of two armed and masked men came through his open passenger side window and pressed a gun to his head. He hit the gas to escape. With the man still partially inside the car, that forward motion struck Daja, who was standing at the passenger side. He kept driving to shake the man loose, aimed for a tree, lost control, and crashed into the school fence 6 blocks away. Shots were fired at his car from behind as he drove off. He ran from the crash on foot, found the neighbor's backyard on Isabella Street, knocked on the door. He says he lost nothing in the robbery. No money taken, no phone stolen, nothing removed from the car. Officers found Marcus near Isabella Street and took him into custody. His parents arrived at the scene. He was listed as a suspect. And then Daja, from a hospital bed, face broken in multiple places, leg broken, body still mid-recovery from 5 surgical procedures, posted a video. She told her followers she had been out walking her dogs when a random driver hit her. She said she had no idea who was behind the wheel. Her followers responded immediately. Prayers everywhere. The story spread fast. A young woman already deep in surgical recovery, left bleeding on a dark street by a stranger. That version of events held for about 3 days. 3 days later, Marcus posted his full account on TikTok. His page, his words, everything. Victory Lounge, the drive, the phone calls, the corner store, the 2 masked men, the crash, all of it. The internet did not wait for any investigation. Within hours, people had already decided. Some said the specific parking spot and the phone call proved a setup. Others said a woman who gets run over and ends up in a trauma center is not a criminal, she is a victim. Some pointed out that no money was actually taken in this alleged robbery. Others pointed out that no charges were ever filed against Daja either. Everyone had a theory. Nobody had the tape. And the tape, those duplex cameras Marcus specifically referenced, the ones that were supposedly recording the entire thing, still has not been shown to a single person outside of whatever exists between him and his lawyer. That silence is doing a lot of talking. Once Marcus's video went public, social media became the investigation, and both sides got absolutely dragged. The setup camp said the details lined up too cleanly. The specific parking spot, the constant phone calls, the corner store detour that moved them to a second location, the 4-word phone call that sounded like a location confirmation. They said no robbery just happens to go down the exact second you pull back up. They said the timing was too convenient to be coincidence.
I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like that girl set that boy up, because he said they've been messing around, chilling, vibing. They even went to the casino together and he won some big money that night. So he trusted her like he ain't think she would ever snake him. But he started noticing some weird stuff, like her phone kept ringing off the hook all night, numbers he ain't recognize. But he ain't think too much of it. Then when he dropped her off, he asked like, "You got some water in the house?" And she talking about, nah, let's go to the corner store real quick. So they pull up and she in there for like 5-10 minutes. Now be for real, it's a corner store, not no Walmart. She pick up one time like, yeah, I'm here. He ain't think nothing of it. But soon as they get to the house, he said he noticed it was quiet, too quiet. About 10 minutes later, some dude pull up trying to rob him. So he panicked, tried to get away, and ended up running that girl over by accident. And honestly, that's on her. Because if you plotting with your ex or whoever to set that man up, girl, you brought that on yourself. That's crazy.
The other camp said, hold on. A woman who allegedly organized a robbery ended up with her face broken on the asphalt. That is not how a setup goes. That is how something went wrong for her. They said Marcus had every reason to craft a story that made him look like a victim, rather than a man who hit a woman and drove away. They said he came forward on TikTok voluntarily, with no lawyer, before any charges were filed, which either means he had nothing to hide, or he was getting ahead of a narrative before it got ahead of him. Both of those are possible.
I have come to the realization that when people come to social media with their problems and they ask y'all to pray for them, y'all are more worried about what they did instead of actually praying for them. Now, the girl Daja Young, allegedly, she got hit by a car walking her dog. But Houston, Texas has a whole different article. And I don't like the fact that y'all are in the comments dragging her, making videos dragging her, saying that she lying about what really happened and that she need to tell the truth about what really happened. Like, did y'all not see the videos the girl is posting on her TikTok? Like, she is literally busted from head to toe. She have to have surgery on her leg, her face, under her eyes, everywhere. And y'all are like mad at this girl instead of praying for her. I guess the girl so-called set her boyfriend up and he tried to get away as he was getting robbed, and as he was trying to hit a tree, but instead he hit her. I don't know. It's a lot going on. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, but I really do feel like y'all should be sending y'all condolences to her instead of dragging her in the comments. Like, that's wrong.
Here is what the actual record shows, separate from what the internet decided. No official HPD statement, no arrest document, and no court filing has ever named Daja Young as a suspect in any crime. Not for organizing a robbery, not for anything. She was not arrested. She was not charged. She is not listed as a suspect in any publicly available documentation from that night. What Houston Police DID confirm is this. A woman was found injured in the road. The driver stated he was fleeing a robbery attempt, and the woman did not wish to press charges against the driver. That is the sum total of what law enforcement has said publicly, on the record, about this case. Now, the armed robbery that Marcus described, 2 masked men, a gun to his head, shots fired at his car as he drove away. That is a serious crime. Multiple serious crimes, actually. And yet no one has been arrested for any of it. No suspects named. No follow-up investigation announced publicly. No second scene where shell casings were recovered or witnesses interviewed. If that robbery happened exactly the way Marcus described it, the police investigation into it has produced nothing visible to the public. And if it did not happen the way Marcus described it, that is also a significant thing that has produced nothing visible to the public. Either way, something is missing from this story, and it has been missing since September 25th, 2025. She admitted she lied. She said she lied to protect him. She kept that position even after he went online and told the world she had set him up. She still, to this day, has not pressed charges against him. That is either the most loyal thing a person has done for someone who hurt them, or it is something more complicated that we do not have full visibility into. Both are worth sitting with. Marcus was taken into custody on Isabella Street on the night of September 25th and listed as a suspect in the case. His parents arrived at the scene. He was processed by HPD, and then, in terms of legal action, almost nothing followed. Because Daja did not press charges, the case against Marcus for striking her had no complaining witness moving it forward. HPD said they were continuing to investigate his armed robbery claim, but as of the time of this video, no one has been charged with anything connected to the events of that night. No charges against Marcus for the collision, no charges against anyone for an armed robbery, No charges against Daja for anything. The only proceedings that have run continuously since September 25th, 2025 are in the comment section, and that jury is still very much deliberating. Here is what we can say with certainty about this story. A woman who built a real career from nothing, cook, bottle girl, brand founder, content creator, invested everything she had into her future, and ended up in a trauma center 6 weeks later with a broken face and a broken leg. Whatever happened in that parking lot, the physical damage to Daja Young was real. The surgery she needed on her face after was real. The recovery she had to do, on top of a recovery she was already in the middle of, was real. The truth of what happened on Dennis and Nagle Street on September 25th, 2025, is sitting somewhere between 2 TikTok videos and a security camera that nobody has seen. And until that changes, we are all just working with what we have. So let me ask you this, not who you think is lying, not who you think is guilty. Just, what do you think actually happened in that parking lot that night? Because I genuinely want to know. And I read every single comment on this channel.